Greetings everyone, it's Mr. Craft back again. In today's video I'm going to be showing you the first student build made by one of my Latin students in the spring semester of 2014. The image that I'm showing to you here is an image of the student's building. This student wanted to, instead of doing a Roman building, because early on in this project I just wanted students to pick something that spoke to them. And so in this particular instance, the Temple of Hephaestus spoke to this student, and thus he went on to recreate this building here. The Temple of Hephaestus, as we see, this is an image of it in the Agora, just below the Acropolis in Athens. Is probably one of the best preserved temples, may even be one of the best preserved temples from antiquity period, although that's sort of a bold statement, but it's certainly a very well preserved temple. So here's the image of it, and one of many images that the student, whose name is Nick Sigmund, that he was using to recreate. And now let's take a look at what we have in Minecraft. So here we go. Just like always, it is 1 block equals 1 meter. So the student, once Nick decided this was the temple he wanted to build, he went on to research it, find out as much information as he was able to regarding the layout, its dimensions, its decoration, so on. And then after he had compiled all that information, he went on to build the temple. So what I'm going to do is give you just a little walkthrough of the temple, try to give you some information about it. Ideally, and next year when I start rolling out with more of these videos, that is after the summer, I would like to have students do the recording session so they could give you more information about the building, perhaps than I would be able to, since it'll be so fresh on their minds. But here we go, the Temple of Hephaestus. So I can say this as I fly around. We were talking the other day about the Temple of Jupiter Maximus being an Etruscan temple, and how it's going to be different from Greek style temples. And so what I'm trying to show you here is that in the Greek temple, the columns are going to wrap all the way around, but not just the columns, even the stairs are going to wrap all the way around the building, right? Whereas in the case of the Etruscan temple, which we saw in another video, you see there we had the stairs at the front, because they were, the Etruscans and then later the Romans were more concerned with people viewing the front of the building, whereas in the Greek temple we have individuals who are looking at the building from all angles. Another thing to note is that the Greek temple, unlike the Etruscan temple and later the Roman temples, is not built up on a high podium. It may be elevated a couple of feet, but nothing more than that, just enough to give way for the surrounding staircase, but certainly nothing like what we saw with the Etruscan temple. So when we move on, we see that we have the entrance here, the Pronios, we could call it simply a porch. As we move into the temple, we notice we've got a giant statue, but if we look a bit, there's only one cella here, just one. Now, in the event, if you recall from the video from the other day on the Etruscan temple, we had 3 cellas, and in those 3 cellas we had the Capitoline Triad, and so this was something that was particular to Etruscans. And as I mentioned in that video for the Greek temples, they are only going to have a single cella, right? They're not going to do this multiple cella layout. So once we've entered from the pronaos, from the front porch essentially, into the cella. The statue that has been placed here is just a statue for Hephaestus, right? The god of metallurgy. But it is said that, I believe it was Pausanias writes that there were two bronze statues in here originally. I believe it was Athena and Hephaestus here. We considered our options and wanted to reproduce that, but unfortunately, if you see how many blocks it takes and the size of these blocks in order for a human being to be sort of recognizable. So unfortunately, we weren't able to do that. So Nick decided that the best thing that he was going to do was I'll just throw up a statue of Hephaestus, and we'll call it good there. So I think he made a wise choice in having just the one. After all, it is a temple dedicated to him. At any rate, as we exit out of the cella, we enter what is called the Apostodimos. So Apostodimos, I believe, is the proper way to say it, with just a plain old English accent there. This is essentially the back porch. So knowing the term is going to be useful in terms of at least being able to recognize it. But we can also refer to this for the ease of pronunciation as the back porch of the building. Finally, what we have also circling up here in the front of the building at the front porch, and then certainly at the entrance of the cella here, are going to be depictions of, and what was actually on the temple were depictions of the labors of Hercules and the labors of Theseus. There were battles. It's believed between these men and centaurs and just various other of the endeavors that they underwent will appear here. So Nick has opted to use some paintings which sort of kind of give the impression of a sculpture in marble. What we are missing, Nick was not able to, and because the game doesn't have it. There should have been a continuation of this theme, not just here on the inner parts on the pronaos and the cella, but we should have seen that also up here in the metopes and the friezes, depicting these same features, these same feats by these men. But unfortunately, we're sort of restricted and unable to do that. So this is the temple, a 1-to-1 scale. Student did a pretty good job here depicting it. For the columns here, which are in the Doric style, he chose just a simple block to try and portray, a simple Doric column top, which I think he did quite well with this. The roof, everything, the building itself having been produced of marble and stone. So he's done and has chosen the same thing here. Just real quick, a little information block. So it says that and we mentioned the location. It's the dedication, the date here. What Nick found was that, well, he originally wanted to put that the temple was built in 415 BC. He thought that was going to be simpler, because what he saw is that actually it's not really sure when this thing was built. He found that there are many dates in the 450s, 440s, where evidently it was started, and And he did well, I think, here to just go ahead and let's just settle on the latest date. Well, I mean, I suppose the closest date to allow for the most amount of time. And so he chose 415, and we called it the date when the building was dedicated, when it was inaugurated and, sort of open to the public, as opposed to trying to mess with all of that. But Nick Sigmund did a great job. Temple of Hephaestus. Great stuff. I hope that you all enjoyed seeing this student build. The young man put a lot of time and effort into this build, and we certainly want to recognize him for that effort and that dedication. Well, folks, that does it for this video. I hope again that you enjoyed it, and I look forward to seeing you all again when I do the next student build. Walete.